Welcome back to our first session of Babes in the Woods on Minions
Welcome
and Misfits.
back to our first?
We know you missed us. We missed you.
We're starting
We did miss
over.
you. It's been a while, guys.
Well, if you remember from last time, we developed our characters, and we're playing the system called Babes in the Woods, which is kind of a children lost in a forest type setting. And this season, I, Sam, will be running the game as the narrator. We also have Cam, Dylan, and our wonderful guest for this season, Rebecca.
Ah.
Woo. Well,
Also,
that being-
statistically, only like 40% of people listen to a session 0, so you should go back and go listen to that. It's very
Yeah.
helpful and informative.
Yeah.
It'll give you kind of a good base understanding of how the rules of this game work and who we're playing. But just
so if you
in
ever
case,
feel lost, go
Oh,
listen to that.
But just in case they're being obstinate, let's real fast introduce your names and the names of your characters, and we'll go into descriptions later. So start with Dylan.
My name Dylan. My character Jake.
Rebecca.
My name.
In proper
My-
English, preferably.
Oh,
Hello to you all. My name is Rebecca. I will be playing the character called Muffin. She is a woods child, which is a child who has been in this lovely Maywood for a very, very, very long time. So long, she's
Brava!
forgotten that she ever didn't
he
live
said
here.
proper English, so I need a British accent.
Oh, please don't. We've all heard the Louisiana. No, it was actually very good. I kind of miss him. All right, Cameron, on to you.
Hello, everybody out there in Radio Land.
Radio.
My name is Cam. I will be playing as Puddles the turtle.
Poodles.
Puddles.
Poodles. All right.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, my friends, we now enter the Maywild.
Oh.
Somewhere lost in the clouded annals of history is a place you've seen between waking and sleeping during an afternoon nap. A place of warmth and chills, growth and decay, remembering and forgetting. The Maywood. As darkness gives way to lush, overgrown trees, a slight mist floats above a bubbling river, whereupon we begin our tale. Jake. You're breathing. Or rather, you're trying to breathe. You feel something on your face that feels wet?
Ew.
What is wet? What is dry? What is breathing? You've never felt any of these sensations before, and now they're coming crashing on you all at once.
This sucks.
You gaze up in what direction you must think is, I guess you'll call that up. Yes, that'll do. And you see a bright light shining down on you, surrounded by blueness, and you think that might be I'll call that sky. Yes, that's sky. And
Man, I
then
just
you
nailed it
look
in
down.
one.
What?
I nailed it in one. Wow.
Yeah. Quick thinker, Jake. And you look down, you see kind of this weird reflection, and you squirm for a moment because you think you see a figure, and then you see something that looks like you, and you touch it, and it's wet. What the heck? And you turn around, and you
Wet
see...
me?
What? It's wet
Is it
you.
wet me?
Yes. And oh my goodness, he's doing all the same motions as you are doing in the water. I
I
mean,
punch it.
you do that, it punches you back with its wetness.
Man, I hate wet me.
You're vaguely
Wet me
uncomfortable.
sucks. Yeah. I'm damp now.
Ugh,
Now I'm damp me.
what a horrible status effect.
My terrible felt is all wet now.
No.
You're not a fan. That swimsuit was not made to actually be swam in.
Oh.
You turn around and you see a kind of really wonderful sight, one that truly warms your heart in the midst of all this chaos and discovery. You see a small child wrapped in kind of nice, gentle cloths and with a serene, sleeping face. And although you don't really know what's going on, you do know this child. And you have a feeling that you've known this child for a very, very long time. And you don't even really know why you feel that way, but you do.
I want to hop my way over to that little child.
Absolutely. It's not very hard because you are literally right next to it. In fact, you seem to be in a small rectangular area floating. Well, I guess this sensation is called floating. You don't really know what it is. The rest of the world seems to be going past you, which is rather rude of the world. It's not stopping by to say hello. But you are with this child, and you seem to be staying that way, at least for now. What is the child's name?
Ooh, is it a boy or a girl?
You decide.
I decide. Oh man, that has implications.
Want me to roll?
Yeah.
Here. All right, first roll of the game. If it's an odd, it's a boy. If it's a even, it's a girl. It's a even, which means it is a little girl.
Aw.
It's a little girl. We're gonna call her Esther.
Esther. And you don't know much, but you do know Esther. And right now, you and Esther are floating. Yes, I guess we'll call it that sensation, down a long stream filled with wet you, and it seems to be like a wet world around you. You're not a fan. You think you just call it water.
Reflections are bad.
Yeah. What is Jake's reaction to all of this?
Mostly just befuddlement. I think he's just kind of staring around, just interacting with anything he can see, kind of like leaning his little spring self around the box as much as he can, looking around.
Yeah. You look around the box, and can you make the first roll of the game, which is the take a gander?
Oh,
Take a
man.
gander.
Take a
Plus
gander.
noodle, which is 0.
Take that
Oh
gander.
my.
I take the gander. I got a 7.
That is enough to get a mixed result, which you will see you have 4 different options. Which
So I
option would
do,
you like to
yeah.
choose?
I would love to. Yeah. I would love to see someone that could help, that I could help, or that could help me.
That is a great idea. Well, you start to notice that more of this wetness is making its way into this kind of lush pink basket that you're floating down this river in. And you see a small head poke up from the river. And you know what? If that person can survive the river, and right now the river's not having a great effect on you, maybe you should reach out to that person.
Yeah, that person
Cameron.
needs to get up.
Oh, yeah. Cameron, what does he see?
He sees a turtle poking his head out of the water. Seems to have noticed the disturbance. Not many things that look so basket-like float their way down the stream, at least not his part of the stream. So he pokes his head.
I should note that it's also very ornate, like an ornate pink basket with a little overhang on the top of it.
Okay. Sort of like the top of a pram.
Yes, exactly like the top of a pram.
Okay. So the turtle, Puddles, pokes his head up out of the water, sort of making eye contact with this this thing that seems to be looking around, and he gets its attention. He asks, "Do you need some help?"
I was gonna help you, but do you not need help?
Well, this is where I live, so no.
I love
But
this
you
voice.
do seem to be
Incredible.
sinking.
What is sinking?
You're new around here, aren't you?
I'm new to a lot of things. I'm new to seeing this wetness. New to being conscious, I guess is the word.
Just then, the top of the pram kind of tilts, and Puddles, you see that there is in fact a small human child behind this odd little creature. And while you're not quite sure what the effect of a river would have on the small creature, you're a little bit concerned about the effect it may have on a small unconscious child.
He dips his head back under the water and then kind of swims up underneath the basket and sort of holds it up with his shell to keep it from sinking.
Yeah, so when you go under the basket, you do in fact notice what the audience would recognize as the underside of a pram.
Wheels.
Wheels and a slight bit of like bars and stuff. That being said, it makes it rather difficult for you to get under there. So what I need you to do is to brace yourself.
Brace yourself.
Yes.
Uh, Yeah, we got an 11.
Oh, that's
Heck
fantastic.
yes.
You are able. You don't take any harm, but rather you are able to get quite under this, and you're now kind of in control of where this pram is going.
Okay. Yeah, Puddles kind of steers it towards the shallow lake bed.
And as you do so, it gets kind of bumpy because the bottom of the pram starts to go against the
Scraping.
bottom of the river.
Which is
Uh,
fine because that just means it can't sink any lower than that.
Yeah. I will say, Jake, you see a small amphibian head pop up from right in front of you where Wet You was a moment ago, and it's not looking at you, which is nice, but it is kind of taking you in a different direction than you were going before.
Are you taking what's happening?
Well, I've never seen anybody like you around here before,
I've never seen anybody like you before.
but I think I know someone who can help you with your predicament.
What's a predicament?
We'll help.
I understood all of the English language up until now, but that one word, that one confuses me.
Well, it's a little bit like being stuck.
I don't like being stuck, so I'm glad you can help us.
He sort of gets them to the shore with the intention of fetching his one friend that he knows would know at least a little bit of what to do with a human baby.
Meanwhile, we cut away to Muffins, who's kind of just meandering around the woods. Describe the scene for me, Muffins.
Well, Muffins.
Is it muffin or muffins?
It's
It
Muffin.
was Muffin, but I'm going to also accept Muffins.
Plural muffins.
I think that's also really cute. Well, Muffins. What would Muffins be doing right now? I mean, she's probably just maybe throwing some rocks into the lake, looking around, searching for any pretty rocks to collect. To describe Muffin, she has just incredibly curly and not clean hair. This is a girl who has naturally very tight curls, who has not had anybody taking care of them. They're just wild and pulled back out of her face by a blue and black checkered bandana. She has a little t-shirt over which she's wearing overalls that are rolled up just above the knee, and she's got comically oversized hiking boots.
And as you kind of just walk along the May stream with a cool summer wind blowing through your hair gently, you do notice a familiar sight, which is your friend Puddles, who is kind of one of your acquaintances along the May stream. But he has a very odd package that he seems to be working with. A bright pink box on wheels with some nonsense inside. It does perk your interest.
Oh, hey there,
I will
Puddles.
say, if you
Hello, Muffins. I was actually
What you
just
got there?
I love this so
I
much.
was actually just looking for you.
Hold on 1 second while my dog barks in the background. Let me just close that. Oh, were you? What do you got there?
Well, I just found this floating down the river, and they were about to
boy.
sink.
Oh, no.
And I was wondering if you could help.
Well, I'll try my best.
You
So-
see a
I
small
poke my
figure
head out.
just quickly emerge from the pram a little bit too quickly.
Hello.
Oh,
Are you friends with Esther?
with Esther? Who's Esther?
Esther. And I kind of like swing my body over to the side to gesture to the sleeping child.
Give me 1 second. And she'll get down and she'll untie one boot and she'll like kick it off, and she'll untie the other boot and she'll kick it off, and she'll pull off her socks by the toes and shove them in her boots and toss those behind her, and then wade into the water till she gets up to the pram and peeks over the side and says, "That's a baby.
Yeah. It's Esther.
This is Esther? Oh, Puddles.
So that's what baby people look like.
Yeah. But what's a
Are you
baby
what not
doing
baby
here?
people look like?
I'm what big people look like, but not like the biggest
okay.
people. There's some that are even bigger, but they're kind of weird
Like some
and
medium
stinky.
people. No,
Oh,
we don't want
Puddles looks kind of nervous when she says that. It's like, wait, there are bigger people?
Even bigger. But what's a baby doing here so far away from its bush?
I couldn't tell you. I just woke up floating down the river.
And as you all are all conversing, you kind of hear meh, which turns into a very loud baby
Which
cry.
turns into a
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh no! Here.
It is quite unbearable, and is likely to
I-
inflict emotional
I-
distress if left
s-
undone.
I slip into my box, and then I poke out of my box, and I go, what?
Make a mush roll for me, just a straight up mush roll.
Just straight mush.
Straight mush, bro.
Straight mush, bro. Wow, 13.
Whoa.
Oh,
Double
crud.
sixes plus 1.
Yeah, you get a feeling you've done this before because as soon as you do that, you just hear a meh. You see a small toothless smile.
And I go back in, and I go back out.
A meh.
And I say, okay, that'll fix it.
Puddles like pokes his head back out of his shell. Where you withdrew when
Taking
the
cover.
crying started. It's like, is everything okay?
Yeah, that was just Esther. She gets upset sometimes, but I can always calm her down.
You're a really good little toy. Taking good care
Oh,
of
thank you.
Esther.
Wait, what'd you call me?
You're a toy.
I'm a what?
He's
toy.
a what?
You're a child's plaything.
Oh, no.
Your job
thought
is
I
to
was
help
just
keep
me.
children happy. You're still you. Just like I'm still Muffin. But I'm
Okay,
what they
That
call
works. I do like making her
witch
happy,
child.
so. Ooh, spooky.
And
That's
I'm
not spooky.
Puddles.
He's a turtle.
Oh, you're a turtle?
Yeah. And what's your name?
Well, thank you. Me? I'm Jake.
Jake the toy. A Jake in the box.
A Jake in the box.
Yeah. And Esther's a baby.
Now, Jake, as this conversation continues, you realize that while your springing does bring temporary peace to Esther, you're generally more of an assistant than like a manager, and some bigger figures come to mind who generally take care of Esther, who are much better than you are. There's something about weird fluids and textures that were very unpleasant that you didn't have to take care of, but they would. And something in your mind and something in your mush tells you that Esther has to go back to those people.
Yeah. Well, you said there's even bigger people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think she had some of those bigger people. I think they were the ones that watched out for her.
No. I think I know what you're
No?
talking about.
Oh, yeah?
See, babies need more than just toys. See, have you ever heard of the birds and the bees?
I've heard of nothing until about 12 seconds ago when I was floating down the river.
Well, let me tell you.
All right.
It's what happens when a bird and a bee
A bird?
both see a berry bush at the same
okay.
time. On a spring day, just as the sun is rising, they make a wish, and out of that bush comes a baby.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's how babies are made.
That's really cool. How do toys get made?
Maybe a bird and a bee make a wish on a different bush on a spring
very
day.
bush.
Yeah, maybe it's like a flower bush.
What is it about spring?
That's when new
I have
life
a spring,
happens.
but that's different than that spring, right? It's not my spring.
That's called a cinnamon.
Oh.
It's when two words are the same, but they're not at all.
A cinnamon?
A cinnamon.
You're so smart, Muffins.
Yeah, I'm educated. Which
So
is
at this point, is Muffins attempting to put Esther into a bush?
no.
Back in the bush.
Muffin is gonna scoop Esther out of the pram and hold her on her shoulder, like, an expert. She's got her little butt
Yeah.
supported. She's got her head on her shoulder, and she says,
Yes,
You look like
want-
you've done this before.
"I don't think I have."
No? Okay, well, you're doing pretty good.
Ah, thanks. Maybe it's because we're both from bushes.
Cam, what does Esther look like? I mean, she's wearing kind of a pink onesie, but besides that, what does she appear to like? Just tell me like a facial description.
Yeah, potato. She's
Yeah.
a baby.
I would imagine that she
Well,
is
yeah.
your classic adorable baby, chubby cheeks.
What color hair and eyes?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I feel like I'm thinking red hair. Red hair, blue eyes,
I dig it.
kind of
I love it.
freckly.
Aw, yeah. You take her out of her drenched
How
pram.
much has she been in the sun to get freckles
I know.
as a child?
I also immediately went to freckles and then thought, wait a minute. We're talking a baby. Maybe she's got a little mole, a little birthmark mole,
She's
right
many
on her
moles.
forehead above her right eye.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Well, that being said, Jake, as kind of Esther's friend, or I don't know, what would you describe your relationship to Esther as?
Friend, yeah.
Just like you don't like labels. You just kind of
I just exist.
yeah. You are rather protective of her, and you're not quite sure why, but
She's Esther.
yeah, exactly. And this odd lady who you've known, admittedly, for about half your life now, is holding her.
Yeah.
And are you just like standing there, or are you walking away?
No, I'm standing. I'm watching.
Oh, I'm sorry. Muffins. Is Muffins walking away?
Oh no. Muffins is now going to fish the Jake in the box out of the pram because it's not good for toys or for babies to get wet for a long time.
Yeah, I noticed wet me is kind of the worst.
Wet me sucks.
Wet me is the worst version of myself.
Can I make that a T-shirt? No, never mind. Don't.
No,
Puddles
no.
pipes up when he talks about how bad wet him is, and Puddles goes, "Speak for yourself."
Maybe
Yep.
that joke can't be in the podcast.
No, it's fine.
Turtles
I
are
didn't think about it that
supposed to
much.
be in the water.
Oh yeah, you get wet good.
But you were
So,
talking about some big people. Because see,
Yeah, she has big people.
because babies, if they don't stay on their bush, they need big people that are called
Mama.
mummies.
Mummies. That sounds right.
And
that sounds right. I remember hearing
poppy
about a mummy.
seed.
No, you're a muffin.
No,
That's
I'm
different.
I'm not a poppy seed.
I think it's
muffin.
poppy.
It
Yeah, it's
really
poppy.
depends on what's in
Mummy,
my hair.
Mummy and poppy.
Puddles. While this is happening and they're discussing various silly names for parental units, you see a small speck descend from the tree above where Muffins is standing, and it's actually going right in the general direction of Esther. Now, upon seeing this small dot, you're filled with a sense of dread, because you know that the rot acts using small little bugs like this spider you see.
Oh no.
How would Puddles react to this? Muffins, be careful with her. There's a spider right there.
A what?
Above you, there's a spider.
A where? And she turns one direction, and she turns the other. Then she looks up.
and you see a small black spider descending in Esther's general direction.
You knew.
Her eyes cross as she focuses on the spider. And then she just screams, "Ah!" And she'll kind of run in place cartoonishly for a second, just splish, 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 and then start still moving her little knees super fast, but she's making very little progress out of the mud towards the shore.
Now, this should be said, because she's the only full-sized being in this cacophony of beings, she's moving away very quickly compared to you guys. What
Puddles
do
is-
you do?
Well, because she's still moving so slowly through the mud, Puddles is just sort of trying to push to get her forward faster.
I'm immediately just hopping as fast as I can, following.
Just
I love it.
splashing through
Now-
the water.
Now, you don't know physics too good, Jake,
No.
but you do in fact know that a being such as, a folk such as Muffins here could surely defeat a small little whatever that was. But maybe the world doesn't work like you think it does, but maybe it does. I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I just know she's scared
Anywho.
of it, and so I should also be scared of it.
I love that. All right. That's how the world works.
Yeah.
Well, they said to be
They're
scared of it,
so I need
so...
to be scared of it, right?
Well,
So you guys get to the shore. You avoid the small little spider.
It's just
at
three characters all sort of screaming and running very slowly away from this very small spider.
someone just canoes by in the background, like, what? Oh.
Once they get to the shore, Puddles
Dude.
is like, "That was a close one."
We barely escaped with our lives.
A small canoe passes by in the middle of the river, several, many yards from where you are. And you just see a tall, mustachioed man look up and say, "Look, mother, we see some people on the shore. They seem to be running away from something. I don't know what." And you just hear a voice go, "Keep rowing." And they just keep rowing.
I wave furiously.
"Mother, look, it's Toy. It seems to be moving." "Keep rowing."
I'm so excited for these reoccurring background characters.
That being said, you are now safely up on the
Known as
shore.
overexcited boy and smoking mother.
"Mother, please look." "Keep rowing."
I hope they show up in more contexts other than just rowing down the river.
You guys are safely on shore. So I'm going to use one of the moves it gives me as narrator, which is
You have moves?
I know. Now you're gonna don't act too impressed. One of them is this: ask about feelings.
That's a good
How
move.
are you all feeling at this moment?
Spooked.
Spooked? Okay.
Relieved. We barely escaped with our lives. She's gonna keep saying this phrase over and over again, as a child does.
Puddles is feeling concerned, which is how he feels a majority of the time.
Very well.
Well,
So cut away to.
no,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. All you narrator.
No. No, you're good to go.
No.
Well,
Um.
wait. Who's going?
You can go, or I can end the scene. Either way.
I was gonna transition us towards moving, but
Yes. Cut away to you guys walking alongside the shore. Now, Muffins, you know that
Well, walking is a strong word.
walking, jumping,
Cavorting.
meandering.
Moseying.
Moseying's perfect.
However, every once in a while you do see a few branches float down the May stream, which lead you to the conclusion that, of course, Muffins and Puddles know very well, which is walking is nice, but there's simply nothing better. Let me make sure I got this. Oops, sorry. There's simply nothing, absolutely nothing, half so much worth doing as simply messing about in boats, because they're much faster than walking, and frankly, much less exhausting, and also you get a better view.
Can I float in my box?
I'm gonna say that yes, but it's not like an effective long-term thing. Like if you have like a small a small stream, then yeah, you could wade a few feet across. But like it's not something where it's like let's go sailing in this box. Kind of similar to the pram, where like oh, it seemed to be working for a little bit. Oh, that's where water gets in after a hot second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
not a
I'm
long-term
I don't have
solution.
an airtight seal on my box. Yeah.
Yeah. Not at all. That being said, what are y'all gonna do with Esther? Little piece of baby that you guys got there.
Well,
I don't like how I phrased
Piece of
that.
baby.
only a
I was gonna say like little clump of person right there,
little
but
chunk
no,
of baby. Little chunky
little chunk of baby,
Chunk
Just
of
a
little
baby.
chunk of.
This heckin'
She's like,
chunker of a baby.
Aw.
As all
Little chunk.
babies should be. Little chunks.
Yep, gotta have some chunks.
Well,
Puddles sort of
muffins.
pipes up as they're strolling down the river. Puddles goes, "Well, we should probably find where this baby came from. Somebody could be looking for her."
Yeah, she definitely had two big folks. I think we called them mummies and poppies.
Yeah. Mums and pops. So we better find those.
I think I came from there with them.
Oh. Well,
but
then
I don't know
maybe.
where that was.
Well, maybe if we can find them, you'll recognize them.
Yeah,
So we just gotta look everywhere. That's what I'm doing.
just everywhere.
See, I don't have a mums or a pops. I'm looking for my bush.
You find that bush.
The bush that I came off of. Because I popped
How
off
many
of
bushes have you looked at?
it. I've looked at least like 12 of them.
That's a lot of bushes.
So many bushes. It's like, and she starts 1, 2, 3 on her hands until she's got all the fingers out, and she says, "It's more than even this."
Yeah, that's too many.
It's too many.
I can only count to 2. Gotta hold up my little felt hands.
About how old is Muffins?
Muffins is probably like 8.
Okay.
That's probably what she looks to be.
As you're strolling along the May stream, you see a kind of tall, older-looking gentleman with like a very nice, finely combed and curled gray mustache with a nice, tall top hat, strolling along daintily with a small little cane, wearing kind of a white, summer overcoat. Really just enjoying the sun on his face, not really looking at you guys, kind of lost in thought, strolling alongside you. Not alongside you, but kind of coming from the opposite direction.
Maybe this guy knows where to find mums and pops.
Make works for me. Yeah, why not?
Hey, mister.
So he's
What? Oh, yes, hello.
Hey there,
I wave.
mister.
Me?
You. Me. I'm Muffin.
and he kind of like looks around and is a little bit confused, and he has like a jolly round belly. He's like,
Yes?
You guys should introduce yourselves. It's rude not to.
I'm Jake.
What?
Good job.
Are you talking?
Puddles just sort of silently blinks at him.
Little girl, what? What? Why haven't you bathed?
In 4 years.
You look frankly very dirty. Wouldn't your mother and father be very upset with you?
She doesn't have those.
Nah. But we are trying
What's
to
it worse?
find some. Have you seen any around here? This is
Um,
Esther, and she holds up the baby and makes her like wave with her hand. And imagine she just like a little snot bubble.
Spits up a
he
little
is
bit.
frankly getting very weirded
Flabbergasted.
out from this bizarre situation. Can you roll me Muffins? Roll me a friend check. Make a friend check.
What's a friend check?
Make a friend check.
Ooh, for Moosh.
Moosh.
Moosh. So that will be with a Muffin. Roll a d6 here. That's a 3.
You rolled 2d6s?
Oh, I have to roll 2d6s. Okay. Should I
So
reroll?
3 plus.
That'll help. Yeah.
I know how to play this game. Shifty eyes. Would you like me to re-roll the first one or just roll a second?
Just roll a second.
Will do, boss.
So 3
That's
plus.
another 3, so we got a 6.
Oh no.
So according to this, because you rolled
No
a
friends
6,
to you.
they are wary of your intent and keep you at a distance. Mark 1 experience. So add 1 experience because you failed.
Yay!
Because in this game, even losing can be nice.
I love
Yay.
failure.
This game, we learn from our mistakes.
Only we
That
did
being
in
said,
real
because
life.
you rolled a 6 and it says that they are wary of your intent and keep you at a distance, he is weary of your intent and keeps you at a distance.
Wow, that's really inventive.
He's like,
Where's your father and mother? Where is that thing's father and mother?
That's what we're trying to find out, mister.
Can I sense intention on this guy?
yeah, of course.
Yes, I get to see the true intent of their heart. Each time I use this move, I must choose a result and mark it. So I'm going to say I cannot speak when in the same room as that person. So I'll sense the intention of their heart.
Oh,
this
okay,
is your
okay.
special
But at the
move.
cost of being
No,
able
I
to talk,
can't.
but at the cost of being able to talk to him.
Right, I can't talk to them, but I can sense their heart.
See, I thought you were saying like, I will not talk to this person.
I refuse to speak to this
He's
man.
too rude. So this is a special move for you as a toy character, right?
This is my toy move. Yes, I get to see the true intent of their heart.
That's really neat. You don't have to roll or nothing.
Nope, just do it.
That's cool.
What'd you roll?
No rolls.
Oh, no rolls. Oh, that's
No,
nice.
I just
Oh.
choose my downside.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. So, again, seeing as you weren't even born yesterday, the fact that you're good at reading people is a little bit bizarre.
Yeah, I can
But-
just tell how people be.
To put it bluntly, he's a few tacos short of a combination plate. Just kind of a very dull and bumbling person. Not really someone who could be helpful, but at the same time, not an immediate threat.
Yeah.
However,
I tap Muffin on the leg and I just kind of like gesture my head away, like we should go.
I just kind of nod down at Jake.
Oh, how dare you!
Muffin didn't say it. Rebecca made a mistake.
I like the idea that Jake has like the toy version of epigenetic memories of just what people are like in general. He's like doesn't know why, but he knows how.
Yeah.
He knows how.
Love it.
All right, so you turn away, leaving this guy like, come back here, rapscallions, and yet he does that and doesn't chase after you. Like, just kind of freaks out in a singular 1 foot diameter spot.
Muffin turns
and
around,
before long,
walking backwards, and says, "I don't eat scallions."
and he just starts kind of breathing heavily and turns around in a huff and starts walking away.
Throws up a peace sign, and then waddles away
Believe
faster.
This is the definition of a blithering idiot.
That being said, you're now walking south, which is kind of in the opposite direction
Which direction are we walking?
So
south.
South?
South.
For the mummies and puppies.
And you're walking against the current at this point.
yeah, we're walking in
but,
the direction that they
doesn't
were
affect-
floating from.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
No closer to returning Esther to her peoples, I should note.
Oh, a little closer.
Yeah. 'Cause I think what we need to do,
Proximity-wise.
we need to go to a town. Because there's a lot of big people in towns. And
What's a
I
town?
know where to find one. It's this place where there's a lot of big people. And they build houses. And they have businesses. busyness.
I think I was in a house before
Mm-hmm.
with Esther.
I think that's where ma'ams and sirs.
Ma'ams and sirs?
Ma'ams and sirs live with babies.
Muffins, you know that the best way to get to a town is in fact via boat. Because you are alongside the May stream, and while walking could theoretically work, you're likely to meet all sorts of rapscallions, or rather blithering idiots.
I start looking around for overexcited boy and smoking mom.
What
They're
we
nowhere in sight.
what we really need is a boat.
Well, can't we use the pram?
Make a noodle check with advantage.
I love that
Rebecca.
sentence.
When they mention
So roll 3 dice and take the 2
when
highest.
they mention finding a town, Puddles is just like, this sounds like it could be dangerous.
Do not like towns?
I've never been to one, but if it's got
Oh, then you don't know.
but if it's got those big people you keep mentioning, it sounds like it could be trouble.
Have you had bad interactions with big people?
Well, I've never seen one before, but big things are kind of scary.
Don't
That's
worry,
true.
Puddles. We'll protect you.
I'm gonna console Puddles.
Oh.
Puddles
Aww.
appreciates that.
Yeah.
Do you
Let me
get
see how
to
well- let me
roll
see how
anything
well-
for that?
Yeah, let me see how well I console him.
Can I assist? Or also roll a console?
Wowza, I got a 12.
Ooh.
On a 10
Wow.
plus, your help is exactly what they need. Gain
Oh,
all
wow.
3 of the 7 through 9 options. So
Bro.
it says we both feel a little better, gain 1 wish, mark an XP, and gain a friendship.
Oh,
Dang. So how do you console him?
I just kind of put my little felt arm up on his little noggin, and I say, not all big people are scary or idiots like that other guy we saw. Some big people are really sweet, and they take care of people like Esther, like the people we lived with.
Puddles kind of does the best approximation of a smile that a turtle is capable of, and he says, "Well, if you say so."
I do.
He doesn't let it show like in his words, but he clearly feels a lot more confident about the situation.
Muffin just gently pats him on the head.
His head kind of comes back out of his shell some more after he kind of drew it in out of fear.
Yeah, you can explicitly tell how like confident Puddles is feeling based on the position of where his head and neck are
Yes.
compared to his shell.
The classic animated turtle.
Yeah, like sometimes you just see his 2 eyes poking up out of the shell like that.
Well, that being said, and
I was
Puddles
supposed to
being
make some
slightly-
kind of noodle roll?
it's such a funny phrase. Yes. So roll 3 and choose your 2 highest.
I'm gonna roll for the first time tonight my cute itty bitty jade dice.
Yes, little bitty
Aw.
die.
It's so small.
It's a small die.
Just like our
like
little
Esther.
team. Oh wow. That's an 11. Plus 1 for
sweet.
noodle.
Nice.
Fantastic. So you know the best place to get a boat is from Quentin the boatwright, who lives on a small shack in the center of the lake.
Huh.
That's
little
hard
bit-
to get to without a boat.
A little bit counterintuitive, isn't it? However, you have noticed that small objects such as large pieces of bark and even the pram that you left back there can help you get a short distance in the water, but isn't really something you would be in there long term. But if you can manage to, paddle something out there, if you can get to the shack, that
Or
should be
if you can,
better than
well,
nothing.
just-
Or
Or if you can puddle something out there.
Ah.
I also just learned a little bit about physics recently, and I think if you spun me up real tight, I could probably spin back around, and it'll like make a little propeller on the little
I
pram.
love that so much.
Perfect. I
Or
remembered.
you could steal.
You could what?
Don't do that. I'm just saying that. Like
That's not
theft is always
good,
an option
narrator.
in RPGs.
We're trying to be good people.
That's true.
You guys.
You wonderful
We
little
just somehow
misfits.
find a way to be murder hobos in this adorable, brightly
find
colored
a way.
cartoon game.
Kicking ant hills.
Little magnifying glass.
Muffin is gonna gasp. I just remembered a wisdom.
A wisdom?
A wisdom.
A wisdom.
It goes like, if you need to float and you don't have a boat, you can build a rafta if you really
Grab a
have
goat?
to.
That rhyme didn't go the way I thought it would.
How'd you think it would go?
You are so
thought you
smart,
needed to go.
Muffins.
Hey, I got lots of noodles. And she pulls out of a pocket just a fistful of spaghetti.
Where did you get
Pockets.
those?
How
I'll
long
never
has that been
tell.
there?
And she starts eating it. Arr, arr.
I think that's going to be Puddles' catchphrase is
You're
calling
so
Muffins
smart.
smart.
I love it.
Oh my. Okay, so here's how this is gonna work.
Reinforces her overconfidence.
Do you guys want to try to assemble a raft then?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna stick me on the back of the pram and twist me up.
You know what? I love
And we
that.
could have Puddles at the front to like guide it.
Steer it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this.
You can
Well,
like stick
I
your
was-
neck through the little like pram like
I
push
was gonna
bar.
say you could just
Oh yeah.
he could just hold it in his jaws, his snapping turtle mouth.
Oh yeah, and then Muffins can direct you since you'll be facing backwards
And
with the jaw.
Muffins will have
Well, so-
material to keep patching holes.
I
as
feel
they
like
go.
the pram, like I'm imagining an old timey pram where it's kind of like a wire frame, so he could still be facing in the direction they're going and sticking his head and having his body kind of, having his body in between the body of the pram and the handle of the pram and holding onto the handle that way so that he can see where he's going.
I like it.
So here's what we'll do. Because, well, I was going to make the difficult part assembling the raft, but you guys did that splendidly. So we're going to, you do this, you get the pram and you kind of put yourselves on it. And so we're going to do what the game calls a genius plan.
Yes.
Now,
I was
whether I would refer to this plan as a genius is questionable, but on a technical level,
By our
yes.
standards.
No, that's fair.
We think it's genius, and that's what matters because we're right about everything.
So you're each going to make a check, and if more than half of you succeed, which means if at least two of you succeed, you will make it to where you need to go. So here's what we're going to do. Because both Noodles
Noodles.
because Puddles and Jake are both doing like the physical aspect of it, because Puddles is swimming and Jake is kind of like the impromptu motor, right? Is what I'm saying, from like the spinning.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you guys are gonna make steam checks.
No, I have
Whereas-
minus 1 to steam.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I can use
Maybe
wish, though,
use
if I
it-
need. I have 2 wishes, so.
Oh, okay, perfect. And then Rebecca, Muffins, you can make a noodle check, which you've been doing a lot of lately because you seem to be the noodles of this group. So we're gonna start with Cam. Cam, can you make your steam check?
Yeah, so I rolled a 6. I'm going to go ahead and use a wish to re-roll that.
Yeah.
You just
So
choose the
you kind
result
of
for wish, right?
Oh, choose the results of your rolls. Yeah, so I'm just going to choose to succeed at that.
I love it. So what happens is you all get into place and Muffin pushes out the pram and kind of jumps in it before it gets too deep in the water. And you're all the sudden weight of a 8-year-old girl jumping onto a pram meant for not an 8-year-old girl pushes all of you under for just a moment, which
Oh, no,
puts
wet me.
Puddle at the very bottom. But Puddle, you make a wish. What does that look like?
I think, like, Puddles is clearly he's as nervous as he is all the time. He's keen on this plan succeeding. So when the weight changes, he starts like just paddling his little turtle feet as hard as he can to pull the pram and keep it up out of the water.
Pure determination.
Yeah, just like your cartoon determination. He sort of
Oh.
grits his teeth, so to speak, and gets determined eyebrows and starts paddling as hard as he can.
He grows eyebrows on his
Yeah.
turtle head.
Well, the music swells as you all emerge from the water, and Jake, you begin
Yeah, I
to
start
spin yourself
spinning.
up as you roll for steam.
Ooh, I got a 7. Okay, I'm gonna spend my wish.
Oh man. 2 wishes
What
in a
is-
row.
This is
Because you're
important.
wet and damp, you weren't accounting for this, so you're trying to
Yeah, my weight
to-
is all off.
yeah, you're trying like to spin yourself up, and it just isn't working. So, what does a wish look like for you?
my
Do you like
mind
physically make a wish, or is it like
no? My mind flashes back to the house where we grew up with Esther and her parents, and I just picture that happy scene of them picking her up and being all happy with her, and I'm just like laying in the side of the bed there, just like waiting to make her happy again, and I want to get back to that real bad, and so I'm like, all right, here we go.
I love that. All right,
Yeah.
you do so. You kind of grit your teeth in determination, and
I have teeth.
suddenly the boat gets propelled a little bit more quickly because of the spinning Jack in the Box behind it. And then finally, with both those parts working, Muffin, you start to steer this makeshift raft that you made because you have to, and you're
to
going
raft.
towards exactly the have to raft. Yeah. So roll for Noodle in terms of navigation.
We're heading to the boat house of Mr. Quentin. And I rolled 9.
9. All right. So as you take off, you're directing everyone in the right direction, and that's fantastic. But you look down on your wrist, and unbeknownst to everybody else there's a small black ant on your wrist.
And Muffin notices it.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of itches at it, and it drops into the pocket of her overalls. And then she points forward and says, "Hard to starboard, north to left, south by southeast."
North to left.
And as the bright summer sky beams down on you and dries you within minutes, you all sail for a few moments. It's bumpy riding.
Sail
It
is a
is,
strong word.
yeah. I think not sink is probably the best term.
Yeah.
It's very effortful. Like if you were to try to do this for an afternoon, it would not work. But
Oh my gosh, yeah.
along the horizon, you see the stark outline of a small shack just in the center of the lake, which I guess wouldn't seem very odd to Jack, seeing it as it's the first building he's ever seen.
My name's Jake.
Jake, I'm so sorry.
How dare you?
He's offended. However, I guess Muffin, you've seen it before, but puddles, buildings aren't supposed to be in water. Only fish are supposed to be in water. That being said, you pull up, and the shack is kind of standing up on pieces of bamboo, and there's a large elevated platform that's still a few feet above the water. You can kind of tell it's there for if the river swells. But atop that is just a very simple shack. There's kind of a small boat that's been tied to one side of it, but otherwise it's kind of a nice little island in the middle of the May stream. There's a ladder leading up from the water.
Okay, a little to your left. No, the other one. Or is that starboard?
What's left?
Closer to the ladder.
I just spin as much as I can.
All right, steady, steady. Bonk!
stop
She
moving.
like bangs her head on the bottom of the ladder.
Did we make it?
Her thumbs up appears over the edge of the press.
I am absolutely soaked, and I hate everything about this.
Here, let me help.
Wet Jake strikes again.
Yeah.
Gonna pick up Jake and I'm gonna wring him out.
Ah!
And then I'm gonna shake him around.
Just imagine him flopping around like a Muppet.
Yes. And then I'll just spread them out to dry on the pram.
I don't know if I should say thank you or not, but
The
I
pram is
appreciate
really
the
damp.
assist.
Oh, we
It's
should
like-
get out of this.
Stick me on the ladder.
I'm gonna give you a toss up. Are you ready?
Oh boy, oh boy.
Puddles sort of like flops out onto the thing. He's just like,
You know, I wasn't
Just,
gonna make
like,
you roll for
exhausted.
it, but Muffin, roll steam to see how
Yeah.
well you could throw this.
Yeah, I am in my box fully. I like close the lid. Like
7.
Oh. You throw him and you kind of like clank against the ground. It's not a pleasant landing, but it's a landing nonetheless.
I open my box. I'm like on my side.
Yeah. No, better yet, it's upside down where the
Hey,
opening is. Yeah.
Next, I'll try to toss up Puddles.
Oh boy.
he does the same
Roll-
thing, kind of withdraws into
Yeah.
his shell.
You kind of like spiral across the platform.
Just a little football.
And then I'll say, here, Puddles. Grab Esther. I can't toss her. She's too big.
He sort of like pokes his head out and sort of like is holding her by the back of her little onesie just in his mouth.
It's like a little scruff like on a cat.
Yes.
No, not by the scruff. That would,
by the onesie scruff.
yeah, by the onesie scruff.
Yeah. The scruff of the ones.
And she's wet and not happy, and she begins to cry.
I tried to do my pop out thing, but I'm still upside down.
Yeah, just roll another. I guess this would technically be consoling them because you are consoling her, right?
Well, I can't console nothing. I'm upside down.
Oh no!
I'm still stuck in my box.
Muffin will now
You
climb
just
up.
see like a little flop, flop, flop.
You see this mess.
Muffin will climb up and first look down at the pram as it's sinking out of sight. And she'll just salute and say, thank you for your Cerberus. And then she'll see, oh, here you go, Jake. And put him upright.
Oh, thank you. And I go and like whoop, and pop out right in front of Esther again. And then I realize we're
Yeah.
both wet.
Yeah, you calm her down after a few minutes.
I just kind of like lay my wet self on her wet head and just kind of like pat her.
Oh.
Now you're standing currently on a platform in the center of the stream at its widest point. Any shore is a distance away, but you can still see it. And the wooden kind of bamboo platform is very warm to the touch. The type of place that would be really lovely just to lay out on some summer afternoon. However, you're here on business. Business.
We're here for busyness.
Busyness.
Let's go, guys. Oh, come on, Esther.
business.
I'll pick up Esther and try to like wipe off the wet, and it doesn't work, so I just hold her and start walking to the building.
Yeah.
Bring it along.
The building itself. This is not a large platform. It's kind of a small deck. So the building is like within footsteps of you, and there's all sorts of like rigging and ropes and tools hung up against the walls of the building, and the door is shut.
The way is shut.
The way is shut.
You
It
see
was made by
those?
those.
You see those, Jake?
Yeah.
Those are kind of like toys. They're called tools. They're toys for the bigger people. There's whole giant businesses that sell them to bigger people called the Home Depot.
Which is very different in France.
The ball.
The Home Depot.
That's like a William Sonoma.
Then she'll head up to the door and
You just hear you hear nothing.
she'll wait a minute.
You don't sense any movement from inside
slam
the
my
house.
box against the door.
Something tells me a small Jake in the box going against the door probably doesn't knock it down, so
He doesn't know
nothing
that.
happens. Oh,
Yeah.
that's fair. Gosh darn, this thing is not moving.
Hello? Any boaty
Puddles.
home?
Wow. Hey, Puddles, can you use your strong jaw there and maybe I don't know latch on to something Is there a handle?
There is a handle. There's a doorknob, which you don't know what that is, but the other two would. There's a small metal ball on the right-hand side of the door in the center.
I would say we should leave, but I don't think that you guys would get very far.
You're not supposed to go in a room if the grown-ups don't say to.
We just plant ourselves down and wait.
After a few moments, you hear kind of a caw, caw from above you. And you see kind of a shadow swoop by
puddles.
over the deck.
Skyrim
They look
danger
over it.
music starts playing.
As they look over and Puddles is completely withdrawn into his shell.
What is it, Puddles?
I don't like birds.
Go away, bird.
This one seems to be circling the small deck you are on.
Ah, gosh dang it.
Go away.
I take my parasol out. Is it me-sized, or is it like...
It's bigger than you.
Okay. I take out
When the shadow
parasol
goes over, it like
from
goes
my,
on.
From my dimensional box, I take out my parasol.
Is it? Oh, you're talking about. I'm sorry.
My special item.
I thought you were talking about the bird. No, the parasol is like a Jake in the Box size parasol.
Oh, okay.
It's enough to like
I thought
cover
it was
you.
like a normal umbrella, like in my
wow.
box.
You have a TARDIS
I
in
take
there.
I take out my little parasol and I try and cover Puddles with it so he can't be seen.
He sort of like barely pokes his head out and he's just kind of looking around, real nervous.
How do you usually avoid birds, Puddles?
Like this, and he pulls his head back into the shell really fast.
That's a pretty good move.
That's pretty good.
This seems like a pretty good time to make
and
you.
I'm gonna swoop right into my box too.
Oh, man.
And Esther kind of like puts her hands on her head, just over her head.
Muffin is gonna, like, do the kid thing where they retract their arms into their sleeves. Maybe if we're really quiet, it'll go away.
Yeah, they can't see us if we don't move.
The slight wind picks up around you as you feel something just constantly blow by the dock. And then it stops for a moment, and then it comes back the next moment a little bit stronger. And this happens for a few moments until you hear the of something landing on the dock.